Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. My Namaskarams to you all. And today we're going to revisit and continue with Shri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavuru's Mangalashtakam. As we've already seen, Mangalashtakam is this wonderful kriti which deals with everything that is auspicious in our dharma and tries to invoke their blessings on whatever task that we have started or doing, and on life itself. So that being said, we are done with 6 padyas of the Ashtakam. We are done with 6. We just have 2 left, and we'll be dealing with the 7th padya in this video. The 7th one is a very special one for me because it deals with my interests, and if I may say this, it also deals with the fundamentals, with the foundation of our dharma. You would have guessed by now that the 7th padya invokes the auspiciousness in our granthas, starting from the Vedas to all the other granthas that are respected and celebrated in our dharma. This particular shloka, this particular padya invokes all those granthas, and we, in a way, seek their blessings on our lives and probably to try and learn all of those whenever possible. So let's first listen to that shloka, and then we'll go deeper into the meaning and understand what each grantha stands for. Vedāścopaniಷದ್ಗಣಾಶ್ಚ ವಿವಿಧಾಃ ಸಾಂಗಾಃ ಪುರಾಣಾನ್ವಿತಾಃ ವೇದಾಂತ ಅಪಿ ಮಂತ್ರತಂತ್ರಸಹಿತಾಸ್ತರ್ಕಾಃ ಸ್ಮೃತೀನಾಂ ಗಣಾಃ ಕಾವ್ಯಾಲಂಕೃತನೀತಿನಾಟಕಯುತಾಃ ಶಬ್ದಾಶ್ಚ ನಾನಾವಿಧಾ ಶ್ರೀವಿಷ್ಣೋರ್ಗುಣನಾಮಕೀರ್ತನಪರಾಃ ಕುರ್ವಂತು ನೋ ಮಂಗಳಂ. That was the wonderful shloka by Shri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavu, and as you would have understood by the shloka itself, it starts off with the Vedas. The Vedas play a very, very important role in our dharma, because this Sanatana Dharma is also known as Vaidika Dharma, the Vaidika Mata, and we are the people who live by the words of the Vedas. And the speciality of the Vedas is that it wasn't written or composed by any human being. That's our understanding. It is eternal, it's ever present. And how do we get them then? The rishis, the great rishis whom we saw in the 3rd padya, Vishwamitra Parasharorva Bhagavo Gastyah Pulastyah Kratuhu, such great rishis, through their tapas, through their penance, found the Vedas and gave it to them. That's how we get it, and that's how we are able to inculcate such great knowledge. And attached to the Vedas are a couple of other things mentioned in the shloka. You have the Upanishads. The Upanishads are considered as the Jnana Kanda. On face value, you could say that the Upanishads talk about Bhagavan, but according to Madhvacharya, every word and every letter in the Vedas is an epithet of God. It's like if there are 4,30,000 words in the Rig Veda, when you recite the Rig Veda completely, you're reciting 4,30,000 words of Bhagavan, it seems. That's what he says. So even though that's a wonderful understanding, these Upanishads give a very consolidated view on the Parabrahma Tattvam to us. So that's why Upanishads are considered as the Jnana Kanda. And there are 10 main Upanishads. The Dashopanishad, you have Taittiriya Upanishad, Aittiriya Upanishad, you have Keno Upanishad, Katho Upanishad, Shatprashna Upanishad, and more. Apart from that, you have the Narayana Upanishad, then the Mahopanishad, etc., etc. And then you have the Veda Angas. There are 6 Veda Angas. You have Jyotisha, Kalpa, Nirukta, and so on. And you have the 18 Puranas. And then Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangalavu talks about something called as Smritis. You would have felt that I'm going pretty fast over here, but that's necessary. All this is very common, and most of us know them. That's why I'm rushing. There's a wonderful message there in the end of this. I hope you will all stick together for that. These Smritis are nothing but a word that can encompass everything in our dharma, because our culture, our tradition hasn't been something which will have curriculated systems and textbooks. It was something that the Acharya will teach you from his mind, and the student will inculcate, store it in his brain, in his heart, and then give it to his students. So that's how our whole Guru Shishya Parampara used to work. So that's why they are called as Shruti and Smriti. You keep it in your mind, Smarana. So the Smritis technically encompass everything right from the Vedas to Mahabharata, Ramayana, Puranas, etc. So that's a wonderful word to encompass every great creation in this dharma. And then Sri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangal Guru talks about Vedanta. Vedanta, usually we associate Vedanta with the Upanishads because they are the Anta Bhaga of the Vedas. They are the end portion of each Vedas. They are the Vedantas, so they are the Upanishads. But here, because the Upanishads have already been mentioned in the shloka, one can't say the same thing again and again. It's like me repeating the same thing. I can't talk about Upanishads before and now. So we need to understand that here Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangal is not talking about the Upanishads, but the Vedanta Sutras of Badarayana, of Vedavyasa. These Vedanta Sutras that we call as Brahma Sutras have been the base for all the philosophies, right from the Advaita of Adi Shankaracharya to the Vishishta Advaita of Ramanujacharya to the Dvaita of Madhvacharya and all the other Shuddha Dvaita, Dvaita Dvaita, Achintya Bheda Bheda. All these philosophies have had this Vedanta Sutra or the Brahma Sutra as the base. It's nothing but a long line of words which talk about Parabrahma. That's why a sutra, it's a chain of words. Usually the chain that married women wear is a Mangala Sutra. It's a chain. So a Brahma Sutra is a chain of words that talk about Parabrahman. That's enough of our understanding on that because it's very deep. If you go into the bhashyams, the Brahma Sutram will have a bhashyam, that bhashyam will have a vyakhyanam, that vyakhyanam will have a tika. It will go on, and then we have an English translation. Now we are not able to understand the English translation because the words are so big. The transcendental reality that we are not able to understand that either. So we need to devise another new plan to even understand the English translation. We'll keep that aside for now. All these Brahma Sutras, the Vedas, the Vedantas, the Agamas, the Sangas, the Puranas, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Itihasas, all these very clearly give us a picture of Bhagavan. We know that all these talk about Bhagavan. But Sri Rajarajeshwara Tirtha Sripadangal Guru says something beautiful here. He says, Kavya Alankritika Niti Nataka Yutaha. He talks about poetry. He talks about Alankarika poetry. He talks about poetry which usually is on the materialistic things, is very beautiful, it's very charming, it's very heartwarming to listen at the first sight. Such poems and natakas, plays written by great poets, all these two, it seems, what do? They are Vishnur Gunanama Kirtana Paraha. All these, they extol the greatness of the characteristics of Bhagavan, of Vishnu, it seems. And there is one more beautiful thing which I'll say and I'll end this video. Madhvacharya has said something very beautiful about Nada and Shabda. This is there in the Brahma Sutra too. It seems every letter in any and every language and every sound which might not have a plain meaning to us, all that in this creation and in this universe is an epithet of God, it seems. You can say one letter, you can say one word, you can say a verb, an adverb, a vowel, anything in any language, and the ultimate meaning of all that will be God. That is the wonderful understanding that our acharyas have had and that they have bequeathed us with. So if we carry this forward, we'll have a very well-laid road without thorns and horns and without any obstacle in our journey in life, and probably completing a course or understanding a subject, let's say accounts or anything else. And as well as all this, but more importantly, the Vedas, the Upanishads and the Vyakhyanas themselves, if we have such a wonderful understanding in everything that we are looking at, we will not tend to hate anything. That is the one teaching that we can take from this understanding of the epics of literature and of our esteemed granthas in our dharma. With that being said, I will end the 7th Padya. I hope all of you have enjoyed this, and if you have any comments or any suggestions, please give them in the comment section down below, and keep supporting me like this. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.